Hello student, today our topic is oxidation and reduction. This is very important and students get little confused to understand oxidation reduction. So let's try to understand oxidation reduction with the help of an activity. For this activity we just require to manage copper powder about 1 gram. So procedure: step 1, heat a china dish containing about 1 gram of copper powder, and after this you observe. Actually copper powder is brown color, but when you heat, then the surface of copper powder color changes into black. Means one black color substance coated with this copper powder, and as a result the brown copper changes into black. So what is the reason why this black color coated form? The answer is that when we heat copper powder, then copper react with oxygen, because when we heat means in presence of oxygen only possible, so copper react with oxygen and form copper oxide. As we know, when metal react with oxygen to form metal oxide, copper oxide form, and that is the another product compared to copper, so color changes here. But in this reaction, if you write copper react with oxygen in presence of heat to form copper oxide, you notice one thing, that in our product with copper, oxygen also added and form copper oxide. So if in any reaction oxygen added, then we say oxidize occur or oxidation occur. So in this reaction copper gaining oxygen, or we can say copper adding oxygen, or we can say copper oxidized to copper oxide. So this black color copper oxide again we can turn into brown copper powder if we just pass hydrogen gas with heat when copper oxide form. So means again if you want to convert from copper oxide to copper, means black color to brown color, again you have to heat copper oxide and you have to pass hydrogen gas, then copper oxide will split into copper and water. As a result the brown color copper again will be back. So it is the reversible reaction. So this second reaction, if you observe that copper oxide react with hydrogen, means you are passing hydrogen gas with through copper oxide in presence of heat, then copper oxide reduces oxygen and form copper and hydrogen here adding oxygen, means oxidize happen and water form. So in this reaction copper losing oxygen, hydrogen gaining oxygen. So with copper oxide reduce taken place, means reduction happen, and with hydrogen oxidation happen because oxygen added. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. So here hydrogen oxidize. If a substance loses oxygen during reaction, it is said to be reduced. During this reaction you see copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced, and the hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. In other words, we can say one reactant is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized, and the other is losing oxygen and form reduce. So any reaction where oxidation and reduction both take place together, we can say redox reaction. So it is the redox reaction example: copper oxide plus hydrogen in presence of heat, copper plus water. Redox, the meaning of redox, Re means reduction and OX means oxidation. So any reaction where oxidation and reduction both take place, we call redox reaction. So the second equation, whatever we discussed just now, this is the example of redox reaction. So you can see in our flow chart, copper oxide reduction taken place because oxygen loses and form copper, and hydrogen oxidation take place because hydrogen add oxygen. Some other example also redox reactions given: zinc oxide plus carbon, zinc loses oxygen and carbon gain oxygen. So reduction and oxidation both takes place. So this is also the redox reaction. Hello student, just now we have learned about oxidation and reduction. Now we are going to discuss few day-to-day example of oxidation. First, let's know about corrosion. Corrosion, you already learned in your previous classes that when we keep an iron nail in an open area for a few days, and after a few days if you observe, then you can observe that the iron nail color changes. One coated formed, and this coated is iron oxide. This is a brown reddish color, means we can say iron get rust. So any substance, if it react with oxygen, moisture, acid and form a new substance, we can say corrosion takes place. So corrosion not only takes place with iron, apart from iron, with silver and copper also get corroded. So corrosion causes some serious problem to car bodies, bridges, iron railways, railings, all objects made of metals, especially those of iron. Corrosion of iron is a serious problem. Every year an enormous amount of money is spent to replace damaged iron. So corrosion is the example of oxidation. Now let's know about rancidity. When fats and oils are present, then oxidation takes place very easily. And when oxidation takes place with fats and oils, we can say they become rancid, and their smell and taste also changes. Usually substances which prevent oxidation, or we can say antioxidants, are added to foods containing fats and oil. Keeping food in a airtight container helps to slow down oxidation. Do you know that the chips manufacturer usually flush bags of chips with gas such as nitrogen to prevent the chips from getting oxidized? Otherwise the chips will get damaged, because chips contain fats and this will react with oxygen easily, means oxidation takes place very easily. As a result, rancidity takes place. So to prevent rancid, we add nitrogen. Hello students, Now discuss a question related to